Hello, everyone. Sure, everyone's just trickling in, and we're now streaming live on Facebook as well. Yay. All right. Okay, just getting that on. Okay, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this workshop. It's a Pass Around the Smile workshop, which is my business. My name is Cleo Massey, and I'm doing it obviously with the Happiness Planner, which makes me so excited and so happy. So I think I'll just jump right in. I feel like there's going to be probably people trickling in, but that's fine because you won't miss too much if you're joining late anyway. And you can always rewatch because I heard that they're recording it as well, which is really cool. Okay, so this workshop is called Attracting Positivity and Releasing Negativity. This is a topic that I am very, very passionate about because essentially when I started learning about the power of positivity and the power of our minds, that is when I went from being happy enough to genuinely, crazily, incredibly happy. And I want everyone to know that you can be that kind of happy too, that everyone has the right to be that happy and everyone has the ability to become that happy just with the power of your mind. It's honestly not that hard. I guess when I wasn't genuinely happy, I saw happiness as this hard kind of emotion, I guess, or this hard lifestyle to live and maintain. But I'm here to tell you guys that it is not hard, that happiness is available to you now, and manifesting and the law of attraction and all that really exciting, magical stuff is actually easy. It can be easy. And today I'm going to go through ways that I've kind of learnt to bring in the positive, release the negative, and also use the law of attraction and the power of my mind and positivity to, become really, truly happy. And I want to share some of my law of attraction stories with you guys today as well, because the law of attraction to me is just the most magical law. And I've found a lot of ways that hasn't worked for me and a lot of ways that have worked for me. So let's jump right into it. All right. So as I said before, my name's Cleo, and if you have any questions, if you're on the Zoom, please pop questions in the chat and I will try to answer them as we go on. So growing up, I was in the film and TV world. I grew up on a TV series called H2O Just Add Water. And I was 11 years old when I started. And when I first got the role, I was obviously so over the moon and so excited. And while filming this TV show, I had the best experience of my life. It was the most incredible thing. We filmed for 4 years. And when I came out, I was in grade 11. So I had 1 year of school left. And I felt so grateful that I had this opportunity so early on, and I was almost set up for my career. I knew that I wanted to be an actor for the rest of my life, and that was the only thing that I believed I was good at, and it was the only thing that I believed would make me happy. So I finished school, and I started auditioning and spending all of my time, all of my money, all of my energy on becoming the successful actor that I so badly wanted to be. I was attached to this outcome of me being a successful actor, and that's all I wanted, and that's all I thought I needed to fulfill me. And there might be some of you on this live that are in the film and TV industry. If you're not, it's a hard industry. It's really quite tough. And I guess it was starting to get me down because I was putting my all into this, and it just was kind of like not really happening. I was getting little roles here and there, but nothing too drastic was happening for me. And I didn't understand why, but I would say things like, this sucks, this is a hard industry. Like, I was using really negative words and putting the negative vibes out there. And of course, later I would learn that vocabulary is very important when you're trying to manifest happiness. The universe is like a Google search. Like, if you're saying, I hate my job or this sucks, the universe hears job that sucks. So one thing that I needed to learn as a kid, going through this really tough industry, these auditions and these classes, and getting constantly rejected, this competition, I was feeling down. I didn't realize then that I needed to change my mindset and my vocabulary, and B, I needed to release this attachment that I had to one outcome. So moving on, like probably 3 years, I thought, okay, I'm really going to give this my all. I'm going to get my O1 visa, and I'm going to move to the States, and I'm going to become this successful actor I so badly want to be. So again, I spent all my money and my energy. I left my beautiful partner at home, my family, my beautiful puppy. It was really hard. And I got over to LA, and it was hard. Like, oh my God, it was hard. But I thought, I am craving hope. I'm craving positivity. And I had this idea to start a blog called Pass Around the Smile. Now, at the time, starting this blog, it was like, it's not necessarily a really exciting kind of idea for me. It's this small idea that kind of came to me. I might help myself by learning more about the power of the mind and positivity and the law of attraction, which essentially is what Pass Around the Smile is about. And I might help others on the way, but like, I'm just doing it to, kind of, I don't know, distract myself. So I guess a lesson in that for all of us is that remember that when you have a small, somewhat unexciting idea, that could mean the world of difference for your life one day. So anyway, I decided this isn't really, like, acting isn't really happening for me. Even though little things were happening here and there, something was off, something wasn't right. And I was starting to learn about the law of attraction. People were kind of responding to my blog very slowly, and a very few people. But it was enough for me to go, maybe this is something, and maybe I need to just start trusting the process. Maybe I need to let go and just go with the flow a little bit more. It is crazy how quickly things can change when you change your mindset. It doesn't have to be this long journey. It can happen very quickly, which I think is very, very exciting. So I spent 3 years going back and forth from LA. Over that time, I was building up my blog. It was exciting, but it wasn't like extremely fulfilling just yet. I was kind of like, this is exciting because I'm a little bit fulfilled by something else when I only thought acting was my only path. But it wasn't the whole shebang. And I came home and I said to the universe, and now guys, when I say the universe, you don't have to be like woo-woo or religious or anything to believe in something. For me, I just kind of use the word universe as some kind of higher power energy that I believe in. The universe to you could be a loved one in heaven. It could be some kind of spirit. It could be God. It could be Buddha. It could be just a light. The thing is, we all have some kind of power looking over us. And I think that is really just really nice and comforting to know that we have this power that knows better and that will protect us when we allow it to protect us. So anyway, I said to the universe, I was like, universe, I need to do something with my life that's fulfilling. I want to feel fulfilled. I'm listening. I'm ready to just let go. I'm ready to surrender. And as we get into the law of attraction, you'll learn that surrendering and letting go, trusting the process, is the most important part of manifesting what it is that you want. So I started to trust the process, and I said, universe, I'm going on a walk. I go on these gratitude walks where I just put on my Beyonce and I thank the universe for everything I have. And I was walking along and I said, universe, show me, actually, it was the day before. I said, universe, show me a whale if I am meant to expand Pass Around the Smile, I had this feeling that I needed to speak it instead of writing it. And I didn't realize that this journey, I was learning little things that would bring me to this moment of having this epiphany, I guess, which again, at the time didn't seem like an epiphany, but it just goes to show these little thoughts that we have are sometimes signs that will lead us to the most amazing thing. So it was the day before, and I said, show me a whale in like drawing form or in real form or whatever, if I am meant to hold some kind of Pass Around the Smile event, even though all of the limiting beliefs were coming over me. I'm not good enough. Who am I to hold an event? I don't know what I'm doing. Who's going to pay to come to an event? All of these limiting beliefs were coming over me and, of course, blocking my power to move forward positively. Anyway, the next day I went for this walk and I just thought, I'm really ready to let go. I was walking from my house to a particular point along the ocean, which I always go to. It's kind of me and my partner's favorite little spot. And I'm walking there and I just had this urge to turn down this random street. So I'm learning to go with the flow at that time. So I turned down the street. I walked to the end of the little, like, there's like decks at each corner, at each, street of our ocean here. And I stopped, and right in front of me, so close into the shore, were two whales playing, jumping, splashing, having the best time. And in that moment, I knew that I had to start this event. I raced home, and even though the fear had taken over me, I felt the fear and I did it anyway. Remember that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Fear is not actually real. It's the subconscious limiting beliefs that we choose to give power to that wreck us moving forward positively. Now, we have 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. So not all of those thoughts are going to be positive, and that's completely okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't allow that guilt to wash over you when you're having negative thoughts, because you are just human and that is so normal. But we do have control over the thoughts that we give attention to. So when those negative thoughts come in, choose to let them go. Choose to just let them go and focus yourself instead on the positive thoughts. So then fast forward from that moment to now. I am now living a life that I never even knew that I so badly wanted to live. And it all came because I changed my mindset and I allowed. Now, the journey has been so crazy, and there have been so many times in that kind of 10 years, I guess, since I finished H2O, actually more years now, where the law of attraction has worked so easily and so magically for me. And then there has been times where it hasn't worked at all for me. And through a lot of trial and error, I've come up with methods and ways that may work for you and may not work for you. I believe that there is no exact method to manifest your desires. One method may work perfectly for you and another may not. But I think, how cool. And I want to go through some things that I've manifested and how, and some things that I haven't manifested and how. Now, I think an important lesson in that kind of story of mine is that for years, I was so afraid of focusing on anything other than acting, because I thought that if I did that, it would mean that I was giving up on acting. But remember, just because one door opens does not mean another door closes. Now that I'm so fulfilled and I'm happy in what I'm doing with Pass Around the Smile, my vibration is vibrating up here really, really high. So naturally, the law of attraction, it's science. What energy I put out, I receive back. So now acting is happening for me. I am just about to film our own TV show that has been picked up with a network, and I'm a lead and a producer and a writer. I would never have started producing and writing if it wasn't for those auditions that I didn't get. Remember that obstacles are detours in the right direction. While I was going through that time between here and America and I wasn't getting these auditions, and I'm talking hundreds, thousands of auditions I did that I was rejected from, it was the worst feeling in the world. I never ever thought I would get to a place where I would look back and I would be so glad and so thankful that I did not get those roles. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. I learned strength. I learned patience. I am a much better human than I am now, than I was then, because of what I went through. So just remind yourself that when you're going through a hard time, obstacles are detours in the right direction. One day soon, it will make sense. I promise you. So I guess, okay, I've got a lot I want to talk about. I think I want to move into the law of attraction now because it is so exciting. And I think that that is a big way to attract positivity in your life. Then we'll go on to releasing negativity and releasing guilt, because holding on to resentment doesn't allow us to move forward in a life that we want to live. Okay, so the law of attraction. Just quickly, if you don't know what the law of attraction is, basically it is a law just like any other law. So let's say the law of gravity, for example. So the law of gravity, I got my crystal out. If I were to drop this crystal, it's going to fall, right? That's the law of gravity. So the law of attraction is just that strong and just that viable. The only difference is the law of attraction is made up of energy. So we can't see it. So our minds often choose to believe that the law of attraction isn't real, or it's too good to believe, or it's magic, or, but it's none of that. I'm not a science girl, but sometimes I like not only to kind of help others believe, but even sometimes myself, when I think this law is just too good to be true, I remind myself of the science facts behind it. And you can Google it. I won't go into it now, but it's a law and it's real and it's really exciting. It's really cool. So basically, if you've read The Secret before, the kind of method that is on The Secret is ask, believe, receive. I have used that to manifest at times, and then at times it hasn't worked for me. And again, at the end, when I go through the steps, I will explain to you guys what I've manifested and what I haven't and why it didn't work. So let's go through those steps first, just to kind of get an overview of the law of attraction. We, remember, have the power to bring this positivity into our lives. You have the power just in your mind to allow anything that you want to materialize, which is so cool, because you have the right to live a life beyond your wildest dreams, and you can literally do it today, right now. You can make positive changes today, and you could see positive changes in 5 minutes. It could be longer, but it could be 5 minutes. Okay, so let's go through those steps. So ask, believe, receive. I have added a couple of steps, but we'll go through them together. So feel free, if you have a pen, write these down. So number 1 is ask. You need to ask. You need to put it out into the universe. What do you want? What is it that you want? So for the sake of this workshop, let's go off one thing that you want. Okay. So again, you need to ask whoever it is you believe in. Again, you do not have to be religious or even spiritual or anything to use the law of attraction. You see, the thing about the law of attraction is, because it's a law, it is always working. So whether you're having a good day or a bad day, unfortunately, if you're having a bad day, the law of attraction is still working. And that's why you might find, let's say you wake up in the morning, and the first thing that you do when you get out of bed, you stub your toe. And then the next thing you know, you burn your toast. And then, you swear and you get angry, and then your car's empty with petrol. That's the law of attraction responding to your negative energy that you're putting out. It's as simple as that. Okay, so in the step of ask, you basically just need to ask. Sometimes I'll journal it out. Sometimes I'll say it on my walk. Sometimes I'll say it in my meditation. Remember that there are no rules, and attracting is easy. This is not hard work. If you are finding whatever you are manifesting to be hard work, then you're not doing it right. This can be easy. Okay, so in the step 1 of ask, you obviously want to ask, but you want to ask when you're in a positive state of mind. So let's say that you are manifesting a new job, right? Then you're driving home and you've had a crappy day at work, and you say, universe, I want a job that doesn't suck. So first thing, the universe is not going to respond to that energy, or it is going to respond to that energy, but in the way that you put it out. So it's going to respond to that negative energy with more negative, frustrated, constricted energy, which is the last thing that you want. Again, we talked about vocabulary before, something that I did when I was younger and something that I still have to catch myself saying things like, it's a tough industry, it's a hard industry. If I'm saying that, I'm believing it, and then I'm putting it out, and the universe will respond with, yes, it's a tough industry. So with this, what you would be better saying, you're driving home, you've had a crappy day at work, nothing right now. Wait until you are in a positive state of mind. Go home, have some dinner, have a bath, relax, watch a comedy, and then when you're feeling more positive, say, universe or whoever, thank you for sending me a new job that is fulfilling and fun. We're using gratitude, we're using positive words. Okay, so moving on to the next step, which is believe. You need to believe that you are worthy and deserving of what you are asking for. If you don't believe you deserve it, you are absolutely going to block it from coming to you. Now, I know that this can be hard because we have fear. We have fear of failure, fear of judgment. We have the limiting beliefs that are stuck so deep in our subconscious. For example, if we grew up and our parents told us that money doesn't grow on trees, that money is hard to come by, then that is exactly the limiting belief, the block that is going to block you from, say, manifesting money. So you need to work on releasing that block, releasing that negativity before you move forward with your manifestation. So you need to believe that you're worthy and deserving. You need to use visualization. Now, I say need because visualization has worked very well for me. In saying this, you don't necessarily need to, because I am a big believer that there are so many different ways to manifest that may work for you that don't work for me. But visualization is fun. So basically, well, did you know that when we visualize, our mind cannot tell the difference between real life and imagination? So essentially what we're doing is we are tricking our minds into believing that our desire has already come to fruition. This is actually an experiment that has been done around the world many, many times, where they hook athletes up to all of the, I don't know, the brainy things. And when they visualize, they close their eyes and they visualize successful competition, they actually stimulate the same brain regions that they do when they are performing that activity. So it goes to show, when we are visualizing in our mind meeting our dream partner and we're getting the goosebumps and the shivers and we're feeling so loved and protected, or when we're imagining our new boss telling us that we've got the job, when we're imagining the doctor giving us the all clear and we're feeling so happy and relieved, you are tricking your mind into bringing what you want into real life. Visualization is so powerful, so powerful. So visualization is a big one. Acting as if is a fun little element that you can pop in the believe step. Just gonna have a sip of water. So acting as if basically means you want to act as if your desire has already come to fruition. So let's go with you are wanting that new job. Okay, so acting as if might be starting to pack up your desk, going and buying yourself a new outfit for your first day of work, visualizing how you're going to set up your new office. That's acting as if you already have the job. So you're telling the universe, I'm ready, I've made room. Now, what's going to block your manifestation from coming is if you're packing up your desk thinking, oh, this is going to be a waste of time. Like if I actually don't, if I don't get the job, this is contradicting what you want. So you need to focus on, I believe, and this will, again, when I tell my own stories, it will help you understand how I slot all of these into my personal manifestations. Okay, so that's believe. Then step 3 is to receive. Now, I used to think that this is the easiest step because now I've done all the hard work. I just get to sit back, relax, and my desire comes to me. And yes, essentially, you do. However, what I was doing for years was I was controlling how and when my desire would come to me. So basically you need to surrender, and surrendering can be so hard when you want something so bad, right? Let's say let's go with this, that you're trying to manifest that new job. So you so badly want this new job because the new job that the job that you have now, you absolutely hate, you can't stand. And so that's your life at the moment. It's consuming you. It's all you care about. And you so deeply, so badly want to leave this job and get a new job. You need the money. You need it for your mindset, your family, whatever. So it's very hard to surrender and let go when you want something so bad. Okay. Trust me, I know. But it's exactly what you need to do. Now, not only is letting go and surrendering so important for your manifestations, it's so important for your overall happiness. Trusting the process, allowing and going with the flow was the most important thing that I have ever done, and it has absolutely changed my life for the better. This is a quote that I actually wrote, which I'm so proud of. So when you let go of the need to control, life flows with you instead of against you. And I am standing by that for the rest of my life. So, like I said before, we all have this power that is protecting us and that has our backs. If you haven't read The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein, read it. She's my spiritual queen. So basically, we have this, stay there. We have this power that knows better. We have, like for me, the universe sees possibilities that I can't yet see. And I think that that is so cool. When we are in the midst of a negative rut and we are thinking there's no way out, there's no way this could get better. When I'm able to calm myself, I think there are possibilities that I can't yet see. And when I turn my fear into faith, when I let go and trust that the universe has my back, because that's their job. The universe and your higher powers, your angels, whoever you believe in, often my grandparents in heaven, I know that they know a better way for me. But I am me and you and you. You are you, right? And often we are going to think, no, I know the best way. I know what I need. I know what I want. But we don't sometimes. A lot of the time we actually don't. Look at me thinking that acting was my one and only path. If I stayed controlled to that desire, right now I would not be happy. I would still not be landing acting roles, and I would not have Pass Around the Smile, which brings me so much joy and happiness. So it's all about trusting that what will be will be. And if your manifestation doesn't come exactly how you want it, Gabby Bernstein says, an affirmation you can say, which I use all the time, is I accept this or something better. So that means that, let's say we're going with this new job, you can say to the universe, I accept this universe, this job that I so badly want, or something better. Because you don't know. Like, you might think, oh my God, that job is perfect for me. It pays more. My friend works there. It's just got, this is the job for me. I need it. But when you are approaching this manifestation with this needy, controlling energy, you are blocking it from actually coming to you, because you need to surrender. You need to let go, trust and allow, trust the process. So an example of controlling your desire, right, would be, let's say that you're going for a job promotion, right? And you've asked, you really believe that you're good enough. You're seeing yourself in your new office. You've bought yourself a new outfit. You're feeling really good and positive about it. And then you start to surrender, right? You let go. You're like, yep, the universe has my back. What will be, will be. Like, I'm just going to let it go and enjoy my life, because this is what you want to do. You want to go and enjoy the process, do other fun things that lift your vibration, and kind of forget about it and allow it to come. And then let's say 2 or 3 days pass and nothing's happened. And you start thinking, oh, okay, well, Susie's pregnant, so she's going to leave. And then Doug's going to take over her job. And then that person will move there. And then I'll come in that way. Yeah, that's how it will work. Let the universe do its thing. You are controlling how your desire comes to play. You are attached to an outcome. You need to detach from the outcome to allow that or something better to come. So many times I have thought and knew that something was for me, and I've been so obsessed with that outcome, to then finally learn to surrender and let it go. And I've been given something so much better that I never even dreamed of. So surrendering and letting go, trusting the process is very, very important. Now, a step that I have added on to the last bit of that is gratitude, because gratitude is the highest form of vibrational energy. When we're showing gratitude for who we are, for where we are, for who's around us, our vibration is up here. We're vibrating up here. So we make it only possible to attract things that are vibrating on that same high level. You might not even be trying to attract or manifest anything in particular, but if you are vibrating high, if you're in alignment, you know, those days where music just sounds really good, food tastes good, little things annoying things might happen, but they just don't seem to bother you. That is when you are in alignment with who you are, with the universe. You are just flying high. Your vibrations are up here. That is when you will effortlessly, without even trying, attract the people, the opportunities, the circumstances, and the good news that you want. So when you are feeling crappy, use gratitude to climb up that vibrational scale. Okay, so that basically is kind of how, if you Google the law of attraction, probably the steps that will kind of come up. That's kind of the formula, I guess, that has been made over all of these years. And I now want to go through my manifestation stories. Somewhere I have used that formula and somewhere I haven't. So I want to inspire and guide you guys to realize that there are many, many ways that you can use the law of attraction and manifesting, okay? I hope you're enjoying this. Okay, should I start with my best story? Yeah, okay. This is my biggest and best manifestation story. I'm very excited to share it. Okay, so this is a manifestation story where I use the steps. So I'll go through and kind of refer back to the steps so you can see how I integrated the steps. So it was a few years ago. I was in America, and so you need to know first that I am absolutely crazy in love, obsessed with Beyonce. My friends call me Cleonce, and I just love her. I love her so much. I always have. I have spent a lot of my money going to her concerts, and she was performing at Coachella, and I was in America. So obviously I was going. So when me and my friend Olivia got our tickets, I said to the universe, because I was feeling so good, right? We just got tickets to Coachella. Like, my queen bee is there. Like, this is just going to be the best night of my life. So I said to the universe, while I was feeling good, vibrating high, remember, you got to ask when you're feeling good. I said, universe, thank you for helping me get to the front row at Beyonce's set at Coachella. So now I want to use this example as the manifesting shouldn't be hard work, okay? So the lead up to Coachella, every now and then, I wasn't obsessing over it, just every now and then when I would listen to her music or I'd think of Coachella, I would take a few seconds, or when I was falling asleep, or a whole song, to visualize me at the front row of Coachella. And every time I visualized it, I would just get so excited. And some of you will think I'm weird. In my visualizations, there were a few times where I imagined myself, like, you know, when you're at the front of a concert and there's a bar, I would imagine myself like holding on to the bar. I would feel the bar in my hands. And sometimes these visualizations would bring tears to my eyes, and that's the thing, visualization should be fun. It was such a pleasure for me to imagine myself at the front row of Beyonce's set at Coachella when I was listening to her music every now and then. Like, it was amazing. So did that. And then I started acting as if. So I started telling everyone that I knew that I was going to be at the front row at Beyonce's set at Coachella. Now, this can go for a lot of your manifestations, where other people might meet you with negativity. They might bring you down. They might not believe in the law of attraction. And I had friends that I guess didn't really necessarily believe, but also just wanted to protect me in case I didn't get to the front row. They didn't want me to be disappointed. And they'd say things like, oh, Cleo, you know, like Coachella has 100,000 people that go to it. And, you know, like, just be careful. Like, you know, even if you're at the front row, like, it will still be really fun. And I was just like, I just chose to ignore it. I was just like, okay, thanks. But I'm going to be at the front row of Beyonce's set at Coachella. So I completely was acting as if. And then it came to the day before, and Beyonce was on the Saturday night. The festival was on Friday as well. So me and my friend Liv said, okay, let's go check like how we're gonna get to the front row. And then I started getting nervous because I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna be so disappointed if this doesn't happen. But I caught myself really quickly and I was like, no, it's gonna happen. I deserve this. I fully believe that I'm worthy and deserving of this. So we ran to the front row of the main stage and we actually saw that there was this huge section, 2 huge sections actually, which we couldn't get in. It was like for VIPs. And I was disappointed. I was like, this sucks, because even if we do push and wait like 3 hours to get to the front row, we're still not going to be at the front row. And I was devastated for like a hot 30 seconds. And then I thought, no way. I just know. I knew in my heart of hearts, I completely believed, and I knew that I had created my reality and we were going to be at the front row. And then I realized, hang on, I'm controlling my desire. I'm trying to work out how we're going to get to the front, and like, ew, Cleo, let it go. Trust the process. Surrender, girlfriend. So then I turned to Liv and I was like, let's just go get a drink. Like, let's go have fun. Who cares? We'll come back tomorrow night. It will be fine. It will work out. And then I completely surrendered. And again, I know it can be hard. And of course, in that time, there were like little thoughts where I was like, oh God, what if I don't get to the front row? But I really worked on my mindset. So we went away. We had an amazing time. We saw other bands. It was the next night. Beyonce was starting in 2 hours and I was beside myself, excited and nervous. And my roommates called me and they said, Cleo, come meet me at this pole. And I was like, okay. So we went to meet them at this pole and they were holding up 2 wristbands. I was like, what are those? And they were like, they're artist guest passes and they're $3,000 each. And even if you have access to buy them, which you probably wouldn't because you have to be like Jay-Z's brother to have access to buy the $3,000 passes, then, you know, that still like you can't get them. But they had just been gifted 2 of these artist guest passes. They said, we know how much you need to be at the front row. They slipped them on my friend and I's wrist. We ran through. I held onto the bar. I looked up at the stage. I burst into tears. And then when Beyonce came out, I had the strangest feeling wash over me that I had lived out this exact how it looked, how it felt so many times in my mind. I had no doubt that I created that reality for myself right then. And it was the most magical moment where I thought, I can do anything. I can create anything I want with my mind. I had the best night of my life. We were standing next to Jay-Z, Rihanna, Beyonce's mum. They were all there just watching Beyonce in front of, oh God. Anyway, best night of my life. I really hope that that story can inspire you and can go to show how you can use the steps to suit your manifestation. But now I want to tell you a couple of different stories where I have also successfully manifested, but I didn't necessarily use those steps. So another story is I was journaling one day and I think I was just feeling like quite nice and calm and was writing out my goals and, you know, just feeling good. And I wrote one day that I wanted to I wanted to be invited on a free tropical holiday. Just randomly, I was like, let's have some fun with this. And that is what you guys should do, is if you want to try the law of attraction, if you want to see if it works for you, then do it with something that you don't necessarily care so much about. Like, my life wasn't going to end if I didn't get offered a free tropical holiday, but it would be really cool. And it's good practice to do something that you don't really care about, because the surrendering step is going to be easier than if you're manifesting something that you so desperately want. Anyway, shut my journal, completely forgot about it. Now, at this time, I didn't have that many Instagram followers. I didn't know anyone really in like the influencing world. Like, yeah, I just wrote it down. It was probably like 4 months later, I got an email from this company being like, we love Pass Around the Smile. Can you come over? Can we like fly you over to Bali for a retreat, a Pass Around the Smile retreat? And I was, of course, over the moon and so excited, but I had completely forgot about what I had written in my diary. But then I kind of remembered and I went back and I looked. But because I completely surrendered, I completely forgot about it, it manifested. And it was so crazy. So I think that that is a really good story because I literally didn't really do anything and it happened. And you guys can do that too. And now another story is a money mindset story. So money mindset can be really hard for a lot of people, especially if you have those deep-rooted limiting beliefs that block you from manifesting money. But the thing is, you need to change your relationship with money to a positive one if you want to attract more money. So we were going on a girls' trip to Byron Bay, and on the way up there, I was just feeling really uptight about the money that we had already spent and that we were going to spend. And I think there was a couple of things like I might have put in more here and there and like was driving. And I was just feeling a bit like I was spending like more money than everyone else. And I was starting to like get that negative self-talk going in my head. And then I decided, I was like, Cleo, what are you doing? You're on an amazing, girls' weekend with your best friends in Byron Bay. Like, this is so amazing. Let it go. Money comes and goes. Money is just energy. And if I have this uptight feeling about every dollar and cents that I'm losing, I'm not going to attract it back. So I released it. I completely released it. And I just ended up having like the best time with the girls. That night we were out at a club and I went up to the bar and I had a $100 note because we were paying for the Airbnbs in $100. And I said, can I get, vodka lime soda, whatever I ordered. And I handed him my money and he gave me back my drink and this like wad of cash. And I was just like, thank you. And then I looked down at my hand and he had given me back like $147 when I gave him $100 and my drink was like $12. And I just looked at him and I think maybe like, I don't know, we were in Byron Bay. I think he was just like, yeah, dude, like cool, have fun. And I was just like, what? Like, how did that even happen? And honestly, like I'm only scratching the surface of the cool things that I have manifested, whether it is big things like the Beyonce thing, big things like manifesting this TV series that I'm about to film, or it can be simple things like a car park, like some food I want, or like manifesting money so quickly. And I want this workshop to be a reminder that manifesting isn't hard work and we have the power to change things actually really quickly, which I think is really exciting. Now, timing, I think, divine timing is a big thing that comes into play. I wasn't meant to get those acting roles back when I thought that I needed them and thought that I wanted them. And I remember thinking like, this is the right time, universe. Like, why isn't this happening? And now it makes so much sense as to why. I have one more story. I might tell the one more story and then I'll get on to things that might block us from manifesting our desires and we'll finish up. So I decided a couple of years ago that I wanted to manifest a small bit part role in a reputable production. Now, I wanted to manifest a small role because essentially I had been beaten down so many times in the industry that I didn't actually believe that I was worthy and deserving of a big role, as sad as that is. So I thought, no, I'm going to manifest something that I really believe that I can get, and then I'm going to work up from there. So I kind of just asked the universe. I journaled about it. I visualized every now and then, but nothing really to do with the steps, just kind of went with the flow. And a few weeks later, I got a text from my old producer on H2O saying that they wanted to offer me this role and that I didn't have to audition. And it was just a really small role on their new TV series. And I was just so excited and so wrapped up in this that I forgot to show any gratitude. Now, this is why I added gratitude to my steps, because I think it is so important to show gratitude when you are feeling good, when you manifest something good, to allow it to stay in your life. Because what happened was that role then a few days later, he was actually like, oh, I'm so sorry, Cleo, we've had to cut the role because of like budget or whatever it was. And I was devastated and I was really angry. And I was like, this isn't fair. Like, I manifested this. I used the law of attraction, the law that I believe in so much. Like, why has this happened? And then on, again, this has come from a lot of trial and error. I realized that I was so wrapped up and so excited in this desire that I didn't take any time to thank the universe or thank anyone for what kind of happened. I was just happy and excited. Pretty crazy what happened next. I went on a gratitude walk. I journaled out what I was grateful for. And I said, I am so grateful that I have this role. I pretended like it wasn't cut. Sure enough, that night I got the call that it was written back in. And I had a great time filming. So just a reminder that there are so many different ways that you can manifest. I really hope that this has resonated with you guys. So I want to finish off talking about things that can block you from manifesting your desires. Now, obviously, we've already talked about things like not surrendering and controlling your desire, not believing that you are worthy and deserving, things like that. But one big thing is being able to release negativity and guilt. So I believe that as humans, we feel guilt far too often. Guilt, if you type in, I think it's Abraham Hicks's emotional vibrational scale, you will see that there's one from like the highest vibration you could feel. And then I think, I could be wrong, but it goes to about 22. And number 21, so the second worst vibration that you could feel, is guilt. I think we all feel guilt far too often when it is not valid. For example, we feel guilt when we didn't go to the gym and we said we would. We feel guilt when we don't go to a party because we're feeling anxious. We feel guilt when, I don't know, we're at a social situation and maybe we don't stick up for a friend. There are so many times where we feel guilt where it is not valid. Yes, of course, sometimes feeling guilt is valid, and it's really important to self-reflect and go, oh, actually, I feel really guilty. I shouldn't have said that. That really hurt my friend's feelings. I'm going to apologize, and I'm going to forgive myself as well, because it's all about being easy and slow on yourself, kind to yourself. We need to treat others how we would like, treat others how you would like to be treated. So next time that you feel a feeling of guilt wash over you, I want you to ask yourself, is this valid? Because what it is doing, essentially, it is one of the lowest vibrations that you could feel, and you are absolutely blocking your manifestations from materializing if you are allowing yourself to feel this yucky guilt. So it's all about releasing it. Now, how can you release negativity and guilt when it overrides you? You can release it through meditation, through journaling, through a card pull, through crystals, from talking it out, from forgiving someone, for forgiving yourself. Now, I think forgiveness comes into this guilt really well, because when we're feeling resentment and anger towards someone or a situation, the only person that we are hurting by holding on to that resentment is ourselves. So we want to look forward. We want to move forward. And whether that means forgiving someone in person or in your mind just for you, do it. Life is too short to hold grudges. Life is too short to hold on to negativity or guilt. It's time to let it go unapologetically. Why? Because you deserve to live a life that's true to you. You deserve to live a life that is amazing. And to live a life that is amazing, you have access to this law. But you need to let go of all that yucky stuff in order to manifest what it is that you want. So I really hope you've enjoyed this little, I guess it wasn't so much a workshop. I know the Happiness Planner have incredible workshops and they called this a workshop. And I guess it was a workshop, but it was me just talking at you. So I hope you wrote some notes. I hope you liked it. I hope you're feeling really, really good. I wanted to pull a card, because if you are watching this right now, that is a sign in itself. I'm going to pull a card from my own card deck, which I am so obsessed with. There's so much magic inside it. I swear it always tells you exactly what you need to know. So if you're watching this right now, this card is a sign for you, and I urge you to take it on board. Oh, they always like pop out so easily. Oh, literally just what we were talking about. Okay, so we got the let it go card. It is time to let go of the negative thoughts that are consuming you. Don't waste your energy on them any longer. And then we can also pick a crystal. These are my pockets of positivity filled with 13 different crystals, all with different healing properties. So you kind of use it like an oracle card deck, and you just use your intuition and pull a crystal. What have we got? Oh, citrine. And then you get these cards, and let's see what citrine says. So it's the wealth, abundance, creativity, and goal setting stone. Citrine will help you manifest your wildest dreams into reality. A stone which brings sunshine and positivity. Powerful in your workspace while visualizing your dreams. You are vibrating high. Use this to your advantage and get to work on your goals. What a perfect little message to end this workshop on. It's time to get started on your goals, manifest, let go of the negative, and move forward positively. Thank you guys so much. My name is Cleo Massey from Pass Around the Smile. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a beautiful week. Thank you.